Well, for what feels like the first time in history, Valve stayed true to their word and removed the Desert Eagle Heat Treated from Counter-Strike 2's Armory Pass on time. Well, that was a handful. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Valve is back once again after a week absence, as they just returned, sending out near a 1GB update for Counter-Strike 2. Now, no, it's nothing crazy or the large update most players, including myself, were expecting or hoping for, but it was definitely an update in a timely fashion. Instead of this being the big update of 2025, I think most players would all agree that Valve is making way, and it's more so the calm before the storm. Today's video, we're going to break down last night's blog post, showcase changes, and discuss the next content update from Valve for Counter-Strike 2. Now, today's video sponsor is Skins Monkey. Skins Monkey is a buying but most notably trading marketplace for all your Counter-Strike needs. Skins Monkey offers a wide variety of skins. Once you find the item you want, hit trade for either items you currently have or for one of many deposit options. You can use my code MANDO for up to a free $5 alongside a 35% deposit bonus. If interested, the link will be in the description down below. Now, last night's blog post on January 14th has 3 different categories with a total of 6 different points. Now, the first category up is the Shanghai Major Sale, where all capsules are now 75% off. Now, what I will say is that it's pretty weird that it took this long for these capsules to go on sale, but you can only really just assume just by looking at the stats that we have that one, the buying and application rates for these things are extremely low. I think they're some of the lowest we've seen in the last few years. Some players are calling this a Rio Part 2. For those who don't know, Rio back in CSGO had some of the worst sales in Counter-Strike Major history. And I think this is really all due to the lack of fatigue from borderless stickers. And we're also not really sure if Valve is going to continue the path of borderless stickers, but I think one can only assume. We've gotten them for the last few years. They sell pretty well. Could this be a turning point for Valve? Yes. But are they really easy for the Valve to just change the holo effects and push them out every year? Yes. The second category up for last night's update is the most surprising to most people, and of course that's the Armory Pass. The Desert Eagle Heat Treated is no longer available to claim from the Armory. Now, why this was such a shocker is most players and people thought within the CS space that this was going to get removed on Valve time and not player time, and not what the countdown suggested. Now, this counted down for the last 100 days down to 0. Most people, including myself, thought it probably could get removed this week or early next week, maybe another month from now. But obviously they stayed true to their word and they actually removed it. But they didn't replace it with anything new, like most players and myself were even assuming. There's no Train 2025 collection, as Train's not even in the official map pool yet from Valve. Valve have just shifted the key charms up to the front where the Desert Eagle Heat Treated originally was on the pass. And this also makes many people, including myself, also think that these things could be removed pretty soon, or at least refreshed. In yesterday's video, we talked about the Armory Pass 100 days later. Pass is here to stay as it makes Valve a boatload of money, but also proves operations I think are just not coming in the near future. Instead, I think it's more likely when Valve updates the Armory Pass to have new collections that they just add new and more ways to play. If they add new modes like Flying Scoutsman, retakes, new maps, new modes, new guns, they can also add something like co-op missions from operations that were pretty beloved within the community and just have that maybe once a week or so you can earn extra XP and extra stars. And maybe you can actually have some replayability with that. But just like stickers, be careful with these Desert Eagles because they're going to be hyped up and priced quite a bit. There's going to be FOMO. And the last and final category up for last night's blog post is the Miscellaneous tab. Valve fixed the finger placement during the Huntsman knife in-game inspection animation, which this is actually quite interesting because for what feels like over the last 3 to 4 months, Valve has changed animations and how they are and how they were bugged back in CSGO over a decade ago. Does this mean they're making way or preparing for something new? I'm not really sure, but that definitely could be the case and definitely feels like it. They fixed the butterfly knife, the M9, and I believe one more just not that long ago, but after a decade of this being a problem, why are they fixing it now? I guess it's better late than never though. Valve also fixed a bug where grenade icons weren't disappearing on the spectator map. Valve fixed a case where the spectator icon would show up on the wrong time on the radar. And lastly for last night's blog post is Valve fixed a bug related to changing the inspect scenery while inspecting knives. And with that being said, that pretty much concludes last night's blog post. Now, just because that was the official side of things and that wraps that up, doesn't mean there wasn't more behind the scenes. Now, if you check in the game files and data mine through last night's update, you can see that there are 3 new commands that were found in the files. The first one is CL_net_print summary. Valve's little description of this says that it prints a summary report of the Source 2 engine networking statistics, for example, ticks, netchan messages, etc. The second command is SV_recbuff_messages 1024. Valve's little description of this one says the max number of messages that can be queued in a netchan receive buffer for an ordinary connection from the client. Last command is SV_steamoff_ignore_localhost true release. Now, Valve's little description of this states that this ignores VAC and authentication errors for the client connected via localhost, address, or in-game engine loopback. And that concludes the 3 commands that were found in the game files. Now, after this update released, most players, like we stated at the very beginning of the video, yes, are happy that Valve removed the Desert Eagle Heat Treated on time, but we're upset there wasn't just a little bit more. I mean, the rest of the items have been on sale for just as long as the Heat Treated. Yes, it takes more stars, but that had its own dedicated tabs. You were guaranteed to get that every single time. It just depended on the pattern, which after last night's changes makes me think it's just more so the calm before the storm. You see, my theory, which probably will be a video on its own, is like in the past when Valve removed sticker sales off the game, devs then tend to release a new music kit and the one-off sticker capsule and possible case just a couple days later, or sometimes the same update. And what if Valve is waiting to refresh the Armory with the entirety of the pass and maybe add something like co-op missions or something of that nature to spice up the game? Maybe they're going to do it when the whole patch needs to be refreshed, when Train is actually entering the map pool, maybe before the majors played so there's brand new collections, or maybe it's when the Shanghai sticker sale comes off the shop. Who really knows? Valve at the end of the day is clearly making way for something else much larger than what we got tonight. Let me know what you guys think down below. Are you guys thinking as well that there's probably something coming soon, since Train, yes, does have to be added to the game because it is played in tournaments now with Blast Bounty, with ESL, and it's not even queuable in Face It. Let me know what you guys think. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Stay positive, sexy. I'm out, guys. Peace.